Alright, let's get into this good stuff. It's been a little while since we've had the opportunity to just roll around in some good old-fashioned Call of Duty, which it's going to be nice to be back. Hello, everyone. I see there's a couple of us here today. I've been trying to fix the bug that's been presenting. Unfortunately, not yet fixed. Fortunately, see that there's a lot of people who are dealing with the bug. Not fortunate for them, but fortunate for us, because that means a fix should be on its way. So what we'll be doing today is we'll just be playing around in some Warzone, doing some no-hip fire stuff, so that'll be a lot of shotguns, a lot of 2 pistols, and a lot of swords, because fun. I'm out of practice, so I may do amazing, because sometimes just giving yourself a break, you do amazing when you're out of practice, and might not be. We'll find out. Today's lecture is going to be a little bit on the concept of how games are really good for self-discovery and growth, somewhat similar to the discussions of how we've had about need versus want with discovering tank players and that kind of thing. We're talking about another skill that video games are really good at helping people figure out so that they can apply it outside of games as well. I want to just go ahead and start this fun town because I've been creating a nice little bit of things that we'll be doing our custom loadouts. We'll still be doing this in Plunder to start with. But you know, we have some of the classics, which is shotgun, Demon Eyes with Damien dual pistol. I'm very excited about running around with this one. This is a These Knives Only style play, which is a YouTuber who has like 1 million subscribers who does a very good job of just nailing people with weapons and knives. Just, it's fun. Thermite throwing is their preferred weapon, which I thought was pretty clever because they throw it at cars and stuff. And then when you know some dual pistol versions of the shield combo. I don't know how that'll end up. Doesn't really matter. It's fun. We'll just have fun. Alex, hello. It's nice to see you here early today. What's the occasion? You just have the time available to you? But it'll be nice to see you. We'll be doing no hip fire, so no aiming down the sights as our main focal point for today's fun towns. So for these bigger guns that require you to look through the snipes, we're just gonna close our eyes and hope for the best. That's really how we're playing today. It'll be fine because a lot of weapons like swords and stuff do that really well. I think today that we'll start with the shotgun combo. Yeah, we'll start with that. And then we'll work our way to like shields and swords. It'll be fun. So how are you feeling today, Alex? Good times? Get a nice deep breath in the beginning. Remember watching a thing from Hank Green talking about how your proteins that your genes make are different depending on how you're breathing, like deeply and that kind of thing. This is how we shoot. We just fire wildly and hope that we hit our target. Like, I'm actually very excited about this. That's a great view. Just wildly firing. Trying to get Joe to bed early so I can go to bed earlier. He was supposed to be in bed half an hour ago. Well, I'm impressed at how far you've gotten now. It's looking pretty good. Flashback. So, yay for you for successfully getting Joe to almost bed. I find that I sleep better if I go to bed a little earlier, so I've been doing that. I was just looking at all the packs our characters have on their chest pieces, and I think that's really useful to have a lot of pockets. But it's just kind of an interesting thought. I'm like, what are all those pockets are really good for? Well, there's some recons over there. I would do assassinations, but really, I'm gonna be running after people with shotguns, and I can't look down the sights, so I'm not really thinking about it that way. Don't worry about it. Just goof off and have a good time while we're doing it. Oh. Reload this gun real quick with the better rounds. Try to catch up to these people. See if we can get a nice boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's fun to come back to this area. There's this thing that my cousins talked about with VR games, that right when you start playing VR games, there's this sensation that you will never ever play any other type of game. But the thing is that after playing VR games for a little while, you develop the sensation that is like, yeah, actually, it's, I'm definitely gonna play some other games too. I mean, it's understandable, right? Like, these games, people figured out, like, how best to do this, right? Like, we figured out the best way to have a Call of Duty with this controller. And maybe not literally the best ever, but it's really refined. Versus something like a VR Call of Duty has a lot of growing pains that still need to be figured out. Things from, like, how do you switch weapons, which there are some games that you can play that are brilliant military simulator kind of things. Really fun. Pavlov is a famous one that's been a very, very, very popular VR multiplayer game, because you can even, like, do Call of Duty Zombies with it, which is fascinatingly cool. I might just grab this because, you know, sometimes someone dies when you get a bounty on them. It's fine. And yeah, it's just interesting. Just got to clean his face and do his hair, then his lights out. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, good for you. More stopping power rounds. No, no, no. Stopping power rounds. Thank you. So it's one of these interesting things where it's like, yeah, the mechanics of what makes a good first-person shooter. Your controller batteries are low. Game. I think I still have 2 right over here, though. I do have 2 ready. I was prepared. Oh no, and Halo 2. Totally. Alright, let's get this car and see if we just run this person over. Someone else poached it. That's fine. Let's go after this person in the red circle. Person in the red circle. They're just below us. I'll take a balloon. Someone's coming down from behind. Did they land on the roof? Oh no, someone came up from beneath. I was very confused about what was happening there. That makes way more sense. Sad face, but makes more sense. Redeploying, get back in the fight. I don't really have a goal for this one. I'm just running around and kind of experimenting with this. I think it'd be interesting to... Uh-oh.
Extraction is standing by. Mark an LZ for pickup. Enemy dropping into the AR. Enemy cluster strike incoming.
Oh, that's down to the sights. Not allowed to do that. That was the one thing I said I wasn't allowed to do. And I did it. Alright, punishment. Go to boom. There we go. This way I can't make that mistake at all. Just knives, shields. Good old knives and shields. Real quick, we'll switch our... There we go. Dead silence so we have some speed. Nope. Pull out that shield. Oh, someone's behind us. But are they firing at each other too? No, they're on the same team. No, different teams. Everybody just ganged up on me. Little old me with my shield swords. That also makes sense because we're invading a group of people. There's a ton of players already there. So let's just go this way. Zoop. Oop, that's below us. That's fine. Ah, good. Good time to just sword people without them paying attention to us. We're also not using the heartbeat sensor right now. Just trying it out. Gonna go with stuns. Very good when fighting individual people, because you can like run around them really well. So I just wanted to try that out some more. Alright, is this person on the roof? I think they're on the roof. Yeah, this feels very roof. Feels very roof. Oh! Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to be the person on the roof, would you?
Enemy UAV overhead.
Uh-oh. Oh, that was our bounty.
Down.
Well, I'll be. I'm a little surprised. That stun thing works great. Really good. Kind of a yay there. I'm a little surprised about how well that happened. All right, well, I'll go to this, I guess. And we'll continue on our being a ninja slaying people.
Bounty target is up. Let's get it done. Bounty target is down.
Bounty.
Well done.
Okay, never mind. They are poached. Oh, then we'll take this one.
Proceed to the marked location and secure the area.
210 away. It's fine. Just pick up cash along the way. Get some shields, some plates. Doop. Doop. Get some more cash. It's something that about the virtual reality situation. It's one of my favorite concepts in relation to human design. The idea that it's like when you already have an idea of how to do something well, like you can see it even in like video creation. So like I'll make a better Let's Play than, you know, let's say the initial PewDiePie created stuff years ago, like right when Let's Plays started existing, when, you know, he was one of the initial creators of it, right? So like I'll make a better version of that than he would now. And like, so if it was one of those situations where it like came out during that same period of time, it doesn't necessarily mean that my style would be more effective at the market, because market desires are different. But you could argue that the amount of effort and like interest in it could have been something where you find a higher skilled, like, oh, there's more editing, there's like, he would do what I'm doing basically right now, but he wouldn't even have that, right? Like that's super simple, not a big deal, but it is a distinction in quality and like complexity. That's something I find very interesting about the creation of content and people's creation of stuff too. It's just like, yeah, all of us are going to be learning at the same time how to make a bunch of stuff. Whether that stuff is, in this case, a video, but the other one I was referring to is like why like all first-person shooters on consoles use these controls, right? The left stick for running and the right stick for looking. There was a time when that was new, and there's a famous review of a person complaining about how complex that is. But honestly, that is the standard now of how one makes a first-person shooter on a console. Left stick walks around, right stick looks around. And you can flip those for sure, but it's just like that flip is really dependent on the person and like accessibility focused, as opposed to it being like, you know, for the most common user sort of thing. Just gonna crouch, drink some water. Now these particular, just related to what we're doing now, this particular blood money is actually 2-team focused, so it makes it a lot easier for our single players to do okay in it. I think I would be very excited for, I was looking at the Call of Duty, what's the exact phrasing? The Call of Duty, the word I'm looking for is subreddit. Basically, I was looking through the communities of Call of Duty to try to see if there was anything, any place I could come up with ideas for different like game types people could play. Because Call of Duty has like rotating game types every once in a while, where it's like, oh, you use pistols or one in the chamber or whatever they are. And it was definitely one where I'm like, oh, I want to do a solos plunder on a smaller map area, so people are constantly running around fighting each other and trying to also complete these various like challenges. It's like, oh, I think that's an interesting way to go and do. All right, I'm imagining that our target is on the roof. I don't know if I've ever actually walked through this door before. Interesting. I have not. Oh, that's a balloon, though. That's a nice balloon. All right, best case scenario, the person walks up to us and just lets us kill them. Worst case scenario, someone kills us right now. But I'm hoping that actually instead, Oh, shoot, that was totally our target. And they were reviving their friend. Bummer. I could have played that smarter. That's okay. Disappointed, but still pretty pleased with it. I'm going to be smart about this, though, and go for the next bounty over here. Gotta say, definitely enjoy, like, actually related to the concept of, like, playing games better, this has definitely been the most entertaining way to play Plunder in my many hours of play now, right? Where it's like, I go near the place where there's a lot of players landing and do quests. And it's like, beforehand, this was kind of a boring experience of like, I just want to fight players. But now it's like, nah, it's, you know, you got a little quest and you gotta like make your way through combat zones and it's just more fun. And if my quest person disappears, that can be frustrating, of course. But it's definitely a more enjoyable experience going hunting people down like this. Just one of these. Helicopter flying overhead, too high for me to throw a thermite into. I mean, well, that's quitter speak. Hold on. Looks like they actually turned off. Well, oh, that's where it landed, though. That was cool. I do miss being able to see. Wow, that's a lot of helicopters coming in. I do miss being able to see where lots of other players are. That's fine. We're experimenting. We're learning to use stun grenades and things. Alright. King is somewhere over here. Alright, but I just care about our bounty for now. Alright. Keep shield back. Get some speed going. Alright, that could be our bounty who just crossed in front of us. I feel like our bounty is going to be right here. Oh, I'm not good at that yet. Oh. We hit them with the flash, which was great. We hit them with the flash, which was great. But we were right in their face, so we need to hit them with the flash, get around them. Oh. I mean, that's also why we have thermite, which is a good tool to give us the ability to, like, just let a person die if we stick them. It's like hitting them with a knife, but it's also useful against machines, like cars. Which is why I'm carrying it, because I wanted to try out something a little bit more universally useful. One thing that I think is nice, though, is like I've made 2 in-game mistakes that were legitimate. But it's still something where, like, I feel like if I played those better, you know, we'd be just doing better. Like, I know that sounds silly, but I just really like that this is skill-based enough that it's like, yeah, I made mistakes, but, you know, I recognize how I made those mistakes. So, a lot of balloons. Gotta love how many balloons we're getting right now. Alright, we'll just get another bounty going. Oh, that person's nearby. Fun. We'll do a quick balloon while we're here. Nice. No, I didn't want that. Swords, please. Alright, so our target... Oh, we're being shot at by the helicopter right now, which is fine. Cash secured. We'll just keep our shield on our back and hope for the best. Not taking a lot of damage. Frightening. Very frightening. But acceptable experience. Alright, still heading the right way. Alright, that was the player. That was definitely our player. I heard them jump off behind us. I put my back to them. But that's okay. Got dead.
Does anyone need this?
Alright, try 2. I'm definitely feeling like I want to get, what's the word? I want to have the heartbeat sensor still. That still feels like the right choice. That's behind us.
Moving.
Just through the buildings. Noise. One thing I do find problematic about this exact run that we're doing is that this particular maneuver is going to make it so that, I mean, it's like that meme that's like, this will cost us about years or whatever, right? 100 years or whatnot. Like, this maneuver means that I have to go back to grab some contract as opposed to picking one up here and then being able to just go back into the same area of the match. That's a bit of a bummer. It's my opinion on it. See, how far back can I scoot? Oh, nice. I can scoot all the way over. Okay, right here. Brutalizer. Full auto shotgun. Noise. Danger music. Secured. Big chunk of cash.
Solid work.
More cash. Top 5. It's been interesting. We've been flying in and out of like top spots this whole match. Alright. Cash deposited. Just keep picking up cash, I guess, hoping for balloons. Money landing over there. I mean, we've been playing the way where it's like top 10 and 10. But I find that like going for kills is definitely super fun. I also really like the sensation of a helicopter. Or you a helicopter? I definitely like the sensation of running and picking up these different bounties. Again, definitely is more fun this way. This part is not as much enjoyable. I would totally grab one of those and shoot that helicopter down. That is technically possible. Joe is now in bed. Cool. Bounty target. The most combat we've been in so far is just helicopters shooting at us. Oh, we're about to be done. Top 5. Just strolling around with swords. It's not bad. So now that Joe is in bed, when are you going to sleep, Alex? Do you have a particular plan for that? Ooh, start stuffing for dance. That could be fun. I'll try to complete those. That'll be my thing for the next round. We'll land in Verdansk and we'll start 3 contracts. All right, put some nice, just stretch myself a bit. Yeah. I'm very excited about the upcoming classes that I'll be doing. I've talked about them a few times in like our lecture stuff. The thing that excites me, I think, most about the concept is it's like I don't know what I don't know. If you've ever heard of what is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect, it's this idea that people who think they know stuff. Like, it's actually a very funny graph. I'll pull it up. And while I pull it up, I'll make a comment to Alex's thing, which is trying to get to bed by 11. Let's see, what is that for you? Is that 2? So that's like 30 minutes right now? Yeah, about 30 minutes away. All right, here's the. This is great. The Dunning-Kruger. So, boop. This is the Dunning-Kruger graph. I've done discussions on this before, but we're gonna do it again. Basically, if down here is how competent you are, and how here is how confident you are in yourself and how smart you are, the idea is that there's this moment here where you're like, oh yeah, I think I know everything, right? And then the more you learn, the less confident you are in everything. But then when you become an expert, you're like, oh, I'm actually really confident, but know my limitations, right? Like, you have to have a certain level of knowledge to be able to know that you don't know anything. And this is something where, in the creation of, like, content, I've been doing content creation for a long time, so I know that there's stuff I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I'd say I'd probably more here. I know nothing. I'd hope that it was maybe over here somewhat. And so it's something that I find is very, very interesting. Where there's a lot of complaints that happen in the world, especially politically, where people will make arguments over here, right? They'll say like I read an article or something like that, but there's this huge amount of information to know. I think one of the most famous examples of stuff like that comes from people like this is a sad example, I think. But no, I can find a safer. Like if you hear people talking about magic, right? Actually, this is a historical one. So magic, technically, is known as things where we understand the outcome but not the cause. And basically, the idea is like, oh, a person waved a magic wand over you and you got better. Well, for a lot of sicknesses that exist, doing nothing, you get better, right? We have an immune system. So for people who used to heal other people, they'd be like, oh, I waved the magic wand and it sometimes works. And they'll run into situations of like cognitive biases where like they think they understand that this thing works or like magically has a power when, you know, it's just that the person got better without any extra help. And it's not necessarily that the person, like, that's just how it happens sometimes. Anyway, I think that's really interesting because Dunning-Kruger effect, those people don't know how little they know about, like, medical sciences. So there's this situation where they're like, oh yeah, like, the magic wand sometimes works, as opposed to someone who has the knowledge of medical sciences and is like, no, it doesn't. Alright, we're just gonna do this for a second because there's a lot of people running around. Alright. Whoop! Oh, dang it. They think they understand Dreamsbreaker. Oh wow, we lasted a long time there. Yeah, it's the thinking you understand. Now, the best recommendation that I have for Dunning-Kruger is like, you should always be open to the idea that you don't know. Like, unless you've actually studied enough to know why something like that is incorrect. Like, you have to be able to... But even that has been known to be an issue because experts also fall into Dunning-Kruger problems too. Which is a very interesting scenario problem. Right? Let's see if we can survive just being a turtle for a little bit. But one of the famous examples is that if you're an expert in one thing, there's this expectation that you'll be an expert in something else too. Like, if you were an expert in... Like, this is a thing that I think is interesting. Like, a doctor who's a pediatrician and then is told to work in neurology isn't going to be able to necessarily be like, obviously I know my neurology. They're like, no, I specialized in pediatrics. Like, or if you were a gynecologist, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, I definitely can do oncology. What's up?
Hostile dropping into the area. Extraction is standing by. Marking LZ.
Uh-oh. See if I'm alive now. Oh, I am! Wow. What a good day. Those individuals a lot of times have also studied pieces of this process. Like, so they're like, oh, I know that I don't know as much as X person or Y person. Alright, let's see if I... Goodbye!
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Here we go. Woo! Alright. Swords are joy. Swords are life. Alright, we're in second place right now. So a lot of players are going to be looking for us specifically. Let's just keep moving and we'll use the scavenger as our direction. And players won't know where we're headed.
Supply box marked. Secure the package.
I'm going to go left.
Enemy soldier incoming.
So Making my way over to you, walking fast, faces pass, I'm homebound. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
Ho-ho!
Enemy UAV overhead.
That was lucky.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
I don't know. I wanted an armor box, please. Just hide here for a second.
Enemy dropping into
All right,
the AO.
we've got so much money. All right, just keep making the money.
Watch the skies.
Oh, hello. Oh, someone else lit that person on fire. Okay.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
All right, look, if you want to play that bumping game, I'll play it. I'll win. I've got the shield.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Like, I guess I'm going back. All right.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Now we're heading back out, I guess. Just keep making my way to the scavenger.
AO.
Oh no! Killed by the random mine. Oof. I think the smart move would be to try to actually deposit this somewhere. Oh, we're in 7th place now, so we're not... Oh, now we're in the top 5. Okay, well... if I get over there... I'm trying to think of what to do. We got so much cash. Yeah, I guess we'll just go for the scav. Maybe pick up the money that's right here, too. Because it's just at the edge. Oh, shoot, that was a really bad landing.
Dropping into the AO.
Well, hope for our best. Oh, someone else is here. Alright, well. Someone else appears to be here, too. Oh, no, I don't have high alert on. Okay, just get up. Good man, good man. Oh, no! I just, they were looking at us! Oh, no. Oh, that was just a lot of money to hand deliver. Alright, we're definitely not in the top any longer. I've definitely pushed that a little hard. That's fine. Let's still go for the scavenger. We still have a lot of cash on us, and we're in a very dangerous area, but we'll hopefully be moved out of here once the scavenger moves us.
Enemy attack chopper.
Oh, oof, oof, and now we haven't deposited anything, so now we've just like fallen way behind. All right, now do I want to continue to push for that scavenger? Gosh, I don't know. We got it. We got the scavenger.
Objective identified. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Oh no! Oh no! I had the wrong weapon out. Oof. I'm impressed that the game is like, yeah, you can keep going for your scavengers. Thanks, game. There was so much time to get there too. And we were going from like 300,000 now down to 51,000. That's fine. That's okay. That's just an example of a not as good game.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
But I honestly didn't play as carefully as I would have normally. Ooh, that just exploded over there. Yeah, I'll go for this. This is definitely going to be more valuable, I think, than going for that final crate.
Hostile dropping into the area. What?
Oh, I can't. I thought I could climb that pole. Is there gonna be a ladder for me to get on the roof here? I think on this side there's a ladder. Yeah.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
Oh. Someone just arrived. Someone else has just arrived. This is. All right. Thanks for your cash, I guess.
Enemy soldier incoming.
We might get a placement in the top 10. Yep, we definitely have a placement in the top 10 now. No, I would like my... There you go. Thank you. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. All that money up there. I tried to put the shield up in time. Whew. That's a thing. Where are we? We're not in the top 10 any longer. We could try to pick up that cash that landed on that building. Or we could try to pick up... I think this is honestly the better choice. More likely to survive this.
Soldier incoming.
Oh, person behind me. Just keep moving. Back into top 10.
Soldier incoming.
Oh, no, we're not in the top 10 any longer. Oh, we're back in top 10.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Oh, shoot. Oh, what did they do there? They probably jumped over our head somehow. Let's see. Oh, it won't let us. That was a bummer. This. I'm just trying my best to get into top 10. Picking up all the boxes. It might make sense to actually just go over here. We have 1 minute and 25 seconds. We have a scavenger option here. That will complete the scavenger thing that we have. It might knock us over the top. I get some extra cash. It's an armor satchel. Okay, it didn't knock us over the top. But there are bounties to grab. And maybe we can chase this person down. They might get poached.
Objective is to eliminate the bounty target.
We got options. Options! Alright, I think that could be our target, actually. Yeah, that was our target.
Enemy soldier incoming.
And shot it by a lot of different directions. Alright, I see them now. Whoop!
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Nice escape. Another speed. I don't think we're gonna end up in top 10. But it was fun. Oh. And that person's slightly on fire. Dang it. Alright, I think this would be a good opportunity to do a little bit of a lecture time. Not specifically on Dunning-Kruger effects, which are very interesting, as we were just talking about. But on, just general concepting of what today's thing's going to be on. So today's one that I want to talk about is on a discussion related to the concept of, like, self-discovery and growth within a video game. So Call of Duty is actually quite an interesting example of this. And once we get through the loading screen, I'll show it up. But when Call of Duty starts, right, you have the opportunity in the multiplayer games to pick a variety of different playstyles, right? Those playstyles could be a sniper, right? You can do, I want to go and shoot things from relatively semi-automatic space. Or maybe I want to be a heavy gunner. Or maybe I want to be, someone who fights with a funny shield, right? Each one of these are a playstyle that can be encouraged by the different weapons. And a lot of times you can almost view this as a clan or a class or like a guild or those kind of things. And what happens is that a player coming in here can be able to kind of learn what's the thing that makes them the most happy. What do they enjoy the most? What kind of play styles do they like? And then within that, grow and get stronger and as a better player. This is something that is, one would hope a person picks up as a skill, not just in video games, but in things like school, right? When you go into school, you're given a wide variety of different things you can learn, from mathematics to history to English, whatever, etc., etc. And those various skill sets allow you to then go, oh, what thing do I like to do? What thing do I think I should specialize in as I get older? Now, not necessarily that you need to figure out and specialize immediately, and that's where I think games do a better job in general, and why I think games are really good to have, is that when people are going through school and encouraged to specialize early, it's hard to know what it is that you like, because as a human being, we have a hard time imagining that we like things differently in the future. Human beings are seasons kind of thing, where we have different states and different desires at different times, and they're not very predictable. And it's one of these things where it's, long-form planning is what humans are really good at. Also, the resilience and capacity to react to change is the other things. Like, when there's studies on how people do better in the future, those people who survive or are the most happy are generally the ones who can update their styles and their behaviors in order to be better at whatever thing that they're trying to switch to. So when I talk about examples of guns and things, you can almost imagine it like a meta in Call of Duty, where it's like if the meta changes, how people change their playstyles, but stick within the things that make them happy. That's where I get excited, right? So if we talk about the idea of what role, weapon, power you use, that's something that video games really provide a low risk environment for. Go in, are you shotgun person, you're running around with swords and a shield, I'm not losing, I'm having a great time when I'm running around and messing with this. And then I mess with these other guns, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm better with these other guns, but it's less rewarding in a way. And that's another advantage that exists here, is that it makes it way easier to compare what things you do or do not like. When we talk about something with, doing the school example again, schooling is fantastic for teaching skills that you already know you want to learn. It struggles a little bit more when you're trying to discover, mainly because you get grades, right? How well did you perform in English? And we've talked about this before, where it's if you're going to become an accountant, your ability to do mathematics is super important. And there is certainly a certain set level of capacity that you should have in understanding history. You should have an understanding of how the Civil War was fought over trying to maintain slavery, right? That's an important discussion that is in debate depending on where you ask, because of how history hasn't been taught as well. But that kind of lesson of oh, we need to go and learn about how this war happened for this reason. How do you research that? How do you figure that out? Those are all the kind of things that are very valuable within schooling, even if you're just caring most about becoming an accountant. It struggles a little bit when you're still trying to figure it out, which is the irony about the gaming situation, is that the games are really good. They're do you want to just get really good at this one thing? Have fun. We'll give you good feedback. We'll give you a safe place to practice. Go, 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 go. If you don't like it, switch immediately. Nobody cares, right? In fact, people encourage that you switch around a lot. So it opens up this opportunity. And that's something that I just like to think about a lot, where it's I want to encourage people, especially someone like me. So there was a video that I remember seeing a while back from Curious Tangents. He's a creator who was talking about people who were successful at a young age. I watch TikTok because my girlfriend loves to watch TikTok, and so I watch TikToks that she likes and she shares with me. There are a lot of people there who are very young and very millions of dollars successful, right? Bella Porch, for example, is someone who recently put out a song and millions of followers, right? And it's something where YouTube has the same kind of phenomenon as well. And these are people who are, 13 years, 14 years younger than me. And there are people that I'll read in these comments, and they'll be 16 years old, and they're how am I going to be changing the world at 18? And I'm, sitting here in my 30s being the awkward monkey meme moment. And the point that I want to say is the world is like this game. The world is like Call of Duty. You're going to have noticed your controller's disconnected. You're going to have opportunities to try tons of different things. And some people will discover something that works really well. They'll have the meta-breaking gun immediately, right? But that's okay for you, because most people are going to be figuring it out still and changing as you continue to play and do things. My computer just told me I need to restart to do something. Not going to restart right now. Anyway, so that thought process is this. If you've got... We all will change as we grow. We all have different things. The super successful early on, very lucky, also skilled, good for them. It's okay to be figuring these things out as you're growing and learning. Games are wonderful for providing a model, like this game, a model on discovering what it is that you like and then growing within that thing. Because that's something that you're going to need to use to be resilient. You need to be able to figure out the new self-discovery and new growth within it. Any questions? Any thoughts? I'll hop into the next thing now. But something that I always find, on the personal note, okay, I have batteries, so if it does disconnect, I'm ready. But on the personal note, I always find that really fascinating when someone younger than me is worried about being successful, because I also worry about that. And there are times where I'm like, man, you don't know how lucky you are. And that's such a wrong way for me to think about this, because I don't know how lucky I am, right? Like, that's the Dunning-Kruger thing coming back again, where you don't know what you don't know. And I don't necessarily want to be, like, I definitely want to make money and be financially secure and the like. It doesn't have to be, like, there's a couple million subscriber YouTube channels of people that I've, are acquaintances, and I've gotten to know them. And they are, they're doing great. They're making money, they're investing and that kind of thing. But you don't need that much money. There are other channels, like the Curious Tangents one that I mentioned, that I don't know how much money that they're actually making. Probably a couple $100s a month. Not a lot. But if they eventually turn it into something that's bigger and growing and that kind of thing, you definitely don't need to be, a millionaire to save up money over a period of time. That was something that we talked about yesterday. Growth of wealth and investments and stuff like that. So it's an interesting kind of, they all connect together, where it's like, I really am happy that video games can provide a training ground for being resilient, reactive, and figuring out how to grow within a space. Especially when some things like school, which are fantastic for education, don't yet really provide people the ability to be as, bouncing around. I still think school is fantastic. It's like, this is my thing, right? Like, I am more excited for this one class I'm going to be taking this summer that I really like, because I know I want to take it. I know I want to learn how to be better at creating content and identifying audiences. Whilst when I went to start college before, I was excited to go to college to discover myself, as opposed to, learning a thing. Which is weird. It's a weird idea. Alright. I'm just having so fun with the sword thing. I think I'm going to stick with the swords. It just feels good. It's just fun. I just like it. It sticks with the making sure that I don't shoot. Everything has to be hip fire, as in I'm going to stab. Uh-oh. I got hurt by something. I'm not quite sure what it was. If it was the smokestack, maybe? It's an interesting idea. Smokestack pain. Sword life.
Now we do this for real.
I love the swords. They do so much damage and they have such good range. It's just nice. My preferred way of whacking stuff. I've always had a little bit of a fantasy of playing this game with people who are like in my friend groups and doing the swords and shield. Like, that's me playing that. And me just being so good and then being like, wow, you're amazing. And it just makes me laugh when I think about it, because this is like, it's such like a kid, like a kind of a kid thing to do, right? You're like, I want to be good at the things my friends like. Yeah, that makes sense. It just makes me laugh at how, like, that's something, like, this is a part that I think is interesting as a growing adult situation. Adults, absolutely. People absolutely can change. However, they gotta want to do it. Or they have what is known as a paradigm shift, and something happens in their life that massively alters their perspective. An example of a paradigm shift could be having a child, right? Like, one famous, like, really interesting example of this is that there's research that shows that, like, men become more, support more women's issues when they have daughters, right? because now they're like thinking about like, well, someone they care about a lot, a daughter, is now going into the world, and they're like, wow, the world is sexist, right? And then so they care more. And that's a paradigm shift. That was like, if they had a son, they might not have had that sensation, because they don't look at their child and go, oh, okay, I'm trying to help you. They're like, you don't need that help. That's a paradigm shift. Those happen. But it's also the idea of like, or the person makes an effort and changes themselves. Okay, this person far away. Oh, we'll get a box. That'll be nice. And a balloon. Oh, that is an unfortunate situation for that person. You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this dude with the swords. You got too close. You will not be able to kill this dude with those swords. The dude with the swords is going to be very, very, very bladeful.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
I thought someone was gonna poach that. That's why it stopped trying to go anywhere. It just felt like it was gonna get poached. Sometimes, you know, you can sense it. You're like, it's been a while since I've gotten close to that person. I've been really trying to just pick up some cash here so that I can do a balloon. I think I'll just do a balloon now. Oh. Oh, you poor fool. I have a sword.
Enemy soldier incoming.
They will pretty much always win close combat. But it's okay, I get it. You want to try. I give up the ability to shoot you from afar, and I get the benefit to be able to slay everybody with, like, minimal effort from close range. It's understandable that you feel like gun should beat sword. I agree.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
But everybody was like, we want to slow the amount of time to kill that this game takes. And so it's like, alright, swords are gonna rule if you're gonna do that. That's actually something I haven't thought about too much. So that's one of the biggest complaints that I see consistently shared on Call of Duty, is that the time to kill is really fast. And that makes sense why people talk about that as an issue, because that means that when you get killed suddenly and hard, right? No, I was hoping I was gonna get over that. Darn it. Like this is pretty fast. Even though they were hitting my shield a bunch. Right? Like, yeah, I get it. The trade-off is like, if you increase that time to kill, me with the swords, it's gonna work even better in my favor. Alright, scavenger time. Boop. Someone's shooting at us. On the outside.
Extraction is standing by. Mark an LZ for pickup. Enemy dropping into the AO.
It's down, put the shield behind me. Pick up some of this cash. Thank you. One thing I find funny about this game is the amount of cash that you pick up casually is just, like, just insane, right? Like, what would my life be like if I could just play for less than 20 minutes and have $182,000? Now, an important thing here is people would be saying inflation. Inflation is what your life would be like, right? I like to imagine for a second that we won't have to worry about inflation. Just let's live in this fantasy world where, I mean, arguably, actually, if you imagine this as like a real world war game, death game kind of thing, people might be willing to be paid severe, like massive amounts of money. However, I don't think you would be able to afford running something like this, because I don't think you would be able to make money running something like this, right? Like, are you really gonna, like, this? like, people will watch boxing, right? And there's a degree of like, yeah, let's watch people whack each other in the face, potentially doing each other extreme harm. You know, but then you get to watch the skill sets and those kind of things. Sure, I get it. But there's this degree of like, in this world, I don't think I would want to like ever watch anyone kill another person. I've watched paintball stuff, and paintball is fun. Airsoft is fun. Those are cool. I could do those. This ain't those. This is not that. Right? Like, there's no airsoft foam core sword. I mean, there is LARPing. LARPing's a thing, or fencing. Fencing's a thing, but yeah, I don't think you could financially, like, I know people out there would want to watch battle royales and stuff, or be like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a battle royale, you know, those kind of things. You can make all this money. But I just don't see a lot of people actually watching it. Like, it just seems to be very, you know, American audiences don't have the stomach for it, kind of thing.
All supply boxes located.
Alright, so it's financially silly of a choice. But I just really like that concept of, like, people trying to make money off of something like this, and it's just like, yeah, nobody wants to watch. It's like, why? It's like, oh, they'll watch Warzone, but that's like nobody's actually dying in Warzone. Like, if people were like anteing up, let's say like $1,000 to play this or something, you know, like when you start doing that, then we would start seeing some pretty interesting stuff, I think, and then you could be making money off of these various games. Yeah, that's one of the advantages of the digital. So I'm not going that way yet. I really, really want to go up there and do that particular mission thing, but I will do this one for the sake of it. There's a car nearby.
Get to the target.
It'll give us a balloon the moment we get there. Not the moment we get there, but it'll be useful for the balloon.
I'll drive. Vendor here if you need equipment.
Perfect. Escape out through the bottom. Circle around. Boop. Oh yeah, that's interesting. I haven't actually thought about the fact that something like a digital experience of a battle royale game allows human beings to play battle royales in a way that audiences would stomach it. Right? Like, it's just an interesting perspective of this whole process. Like, yeah, nobody would stomach this experience otherwise. Like, yeah, that makes sense. This is horrifying. I'm just gonna go behind this building real quick. Holy crap, this door just like swung open. I think that door just swung open. It's very creepy. Very funny of an idea. It's like, no one's here, go away. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff in the military base, but I'm gonna head back this direction.
Anyone need this? I'll drive.
So we're now sitting pretty in third place. Fun. We have secured our cash. We'll just keep doing some of these lovely mission options.
Bring it down and recover the cash.
Where are we? First place is not too far off.
Does anyone need this?
Someone depositing over there? Nah, it's just an enemy. Enemy helicopter. Enemy helicopter is going to be mad at me in a second. It's fine. Shields up. Shields down.
Proceed to the marked location and secure the area.
Nab the cash. You know, I'm curious if we'll eventually get to a. If you watch the Warner Brothers movie, I'm forgetting it's what it was called, but it was Ready Player One. Ready Player One, like, an okay film. But that concept of being able to be in such a virtual world that's not quite the Matrix, but still an enjoyable environment, I think is a very interesting perspective to take for the creation of anything involving game stuff. All right, here we go. Eye into the corner, hope for the best. Now, Ready Player One's world definitely seemed a lot more enjoyable compared to the Matrix version. I don't like dying in the game, you die in real life. Not my personal way. I could deposit a cash helipad if we wanted to. But I think I'm just going to make this money. And we're just going to, like, hit some more supply runs or whatever.
Contract complete. Recon intel secured.
Alright, someone knocked that down, nice. More cash. Cool car. I think one of these times I'm gonna try to really, really push for just victory. I've read people saying that the best way to do is to like avoid combat and the like, which has just not been my way of playing. It's been so much more fun to do bounties and stuff to me.
Time's running out. Get to the target area.
Ooh, there's a lot of boxes here too.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Box. Box. Probably has a balloon in it. It does. So we're just gonna throw this balloon down and fill it up. Why not? Interestingly, waste of time is actually a good why not. But we're doing it. Oh, there's another one right there. And we'll actually pick up another balloon after this too. And another balloon there. Huh. It's interesting. So many balloons. I don't think this is worth this way of playing it. I think it would have been better just to leave the balloons around. But I don't know. I'm experimenting. Especially when, okay, if we're going into the storage town like that, I definitely think it was worth putting our money away. But we're also not getting a lot of money when we go to the supply run. That's another reason to not necessarily do it. Alright, here we go. Fingers crossed. Hello. Other player. Alright. Oh, please no. Please no. I'm not here for you. Nope. Nope. No. 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 Not here for you.
Enemy soldier incoming. Contract is complete. You're cleared for higher payouts.
I'll get that self-reply kit. Revive kit. That'll be nice. There we go.
Enemy soldier incoming.
I'll drive.
Need more missions. Scavenger, that way. Here we go.
Need this.
I see some cash. Oh, this car is almost broken. That was a great time to get out of it. Uh-oh. Just scoot. Oh, shoot. Another one right there. Dang it. That's fine. Those revive things are nice, but that was a situation where it doesn't really help. Or someone right below us is doing a hold the base thing. Alright, going for that scav. Person to our left at the airport. Apparently has some nice cash. Ooh, someone killed us out of air with a shield? No, no, no. Oh, that's sad. That is sad. That is emotionally damaging for me. Oh. It's interesting because it's like you have to just... I think that we need to have a way to remove being a part of a contract. That's something that I think needs to exist in this game. Because you have these players who will be able to like shoot you out of the air like that individual did to me. Oh, make it harder. Maybe they won't hit me. They got me there. Uh-oh. Woo! We hit the car. Oh, they got out. That was a good, good thermite hit, but I had no idea they got out. Oof. Yeah, but because this is an issue where it's like I can't get to the point, the scavenger that I was looking for. We still have that point right there. See if we can pull that off. Oh, we might actually grab this one. Alright, back in 6th place. We have lost our previous mission we were doing. Happens. One of the things I was thinking about earlier today too was on the idea of how this particular stream style that I'm doing, I'm curious if it's going to be something that exists post like today, right? Reason being is because I'm going to be taking these classes that are going to be hopefully teaching me new things that will make it so that I either understand how to make this work better or I understand how to... Hold on, let's see. Oh, never mind. Maybe I can pick up their cash, though. How to make this work better, or to make the way that this particular game experience, or like video experience, be more successful. So those are things that I was curious about, because it almost has that feeling of like, not the end of an era exactly, that has the assumption that it was like a larger audience base, but for me, when we talked about seasons and stuff, an end of a season, right? Like every time I stop trying one type of content style and then switch to a new one, it's kind of like, oh, it's now moving to a new season of stuff. A new version of however I'm expressing myself visually. And I think that's kind of interesting, because it's like, I know for a fact that I'm going to always really like the concept of making videos and then doing like lecture stuff related to it, in the same way that I've always really liked the idea of getting people hyped about builds of different styles, because I like that like self-discovery thing. I'm just gonna land this real quick. Zoop. Think of monies that we can in here. Oh nice, a balloon. Take the balloon. Not that it's going to really matter in the next 55 seconds, but now we have a balloon. Top 5. Cluster strike incoming. Not too worried about it. I mean, if they're hitting the helicopter, they're like, yeah, look at that helicopter, perfect. Oh. That poor helicopter. Another balloon. We'll deposit for funds. It's probably more dangerous than hiding in a corner. But it'll be fun. We're also very close to making $1 million. Are we actually 901? We might find a box that just gives us to $1 million. Always a joy to hit that point. Doesn't seem we're gonna hit though. Ah, there's options everywhere. Pretend. Alright, this run, I think I'm going to actually go for, like, I just want to I read stuff online, and it was like, you land in a place where there's a lot of missions, you do recon missions, and you avoid any combat that you can. I don't know if I'll avoid combat, but I might just play in a way that's not what we, like, not our challenge today. But part of me is like, whatever, right? Like, challenge stuff is one of those things where, this is what I mean about the idea of things changing, right? Like, it's 2:11 for me. I'm going to be streaming for a couple more minutes, and then I've moved on. Then, you know, it's a week break, and then the classes start, and then I start changing the behavior of how I play or make stuff. So that becomes a really interesting perspective of, like, that's part of the reason why I'm like, well, this style clearly wasn't the style that was mattering. I guess is the way I would look at it. And I think it's interesting because this has been a year of various attempts of different content, and not a lot of really success. I mean, like, the stuff that's been successful, I knew would likely be successful, and I'll talk about why that is the case. But, like, the stuff that was the most successful in the year that I've done was stuff that I targeted shorts. You know, video games put you in a flow state. So it's like, okay, if I wanted to grow the channel more, focusing on shorts would make the most sense because that was really effective. And then, where's all the stuff related to, and then so I made some videos about, like, life lessons and video games and stuff, and they did okay. They were more fun. I did some Fortnite stuff, but the most successful Fortnite ones were the ones that were, like, copying and trying to play after some of the bigger channels. And then the most successful Fortnite one was the one where I talked about something specifically happening right now. And then, like, my most successful video of 2020 was about a Warzone thing talking about an update that happened immediately. What's up, Alex? Nice to see you. So it's one of these things where it's like, if I was to look at this and take into, like, what was the most beneficial stuff, talking about Flat Earth apparently was really interesting in this year.
Now's a good time to warm up.
Talking about the show Living Midnight Gospel, but that was also, you know, the show is just popular. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just do this again. It'll be fun. Yeah, Alex. So basically, I was talking about, like, kind of the interesting thing of, like, there's a thing that you do on YouTube sometimes where you sort of chase, like, what is being successful, right? And I was talking about how I've done some things and kind of had some successes, but I haven't been following them as much, and that's one of the things that I'm excited about as I'm moving into the next content piece, because I'd be curious if I'm going to be better at knowing what to chase and that kind of thing. And I mean, like, the shorts has definitely been the most effective thing for me to chase. From, like, a personal, that made sense to me and I had a lot of fun doing it kind of perspective. So I'm going to try the salt mines. And I want to try to actually do recons.
Does anyone need this?
So we're going to try going for 1 million. As opposed to, like actually, and then we'll fight if there's some fights involved. But we're actually going to avoid, like, the higher battling zones. And, like, try to live on our own. Try to live a life. Just driving around, picking stuff up. Alright, I don't see any cars here. Okay, there's a car right here. That's what I'm going for. Perfect. And go.
I'll drive.
So the assumption is that, like, minimal combat. Oh, I'm so glad I made it through there. And we'll just see how this strategy works. That's a supply one. We're doing recons.
Objective update. Secure that position.
Armor box, I'll take. So it's, anyway, it's something where I'm curious to see what the next content direction of my stuff will go. Because one of the ideas that I had, which I think is still a really good one, was, like, especially because stream, or the shorts was working, was, like, if you make good shorts that are about, you know, playing games and, like, life lessons from games and that kind of thing, awesome. Like, you know, do that with TikTok too. Like, Those are great. Just keep doing it. And hold on, where are we going next? I think we'll probably do... We'll do the scavenger next. I don't want to do bounties when I'm out here because it's like... We're not going to be anywhere near other players.
Contract complete. Recon intel secured.
I should be like playing with weapons that I want to level up right now, honestly. Is that outside this building? That is outside this building. Oh, shoot. Okay. Interesting. It was just an interesting kind of facet and experience of concept where it's like you chase the success. So I had success talking about Call of Duty Warzone news and community management. And then I had success talking about the Midnight Gospel. And then I had success talking about Flat Earth, interestingly. And then I had success talking about flow state in video games in specifically the shorts format. So one of the arguments could be like, oh, you should try making more shorts, or you should be talking about community management, or whatever, and then you could still stream about like these other games. Like that still makes sense. But it definitely changes the perspective of how things work. And I don't know if like streaming, like people who are fans of your short content is necessarily going to relate well to your stream, right? Because one piece of that content is extremely focused on I guess we're going backwards, is focused on short content. And that's very different than long form content. But I don't know. Like, sometimes people will be like, yeah, that relates because we're interested in what you have to say. So it's just fun to interact with the the many different types of conversation. It's also not as established or competitive yet either. Which I think it makes sense. I'm actually, as I'm thinking about that again, it's nice concepting because I knew that I was going to be changing the way that I was going to make my content anyway. But that's something that I've already had some success with, and I think there's value in educating people in under a minute about something like this. Oh, I'm getting called by likely a scam. Of course I am. Let's deposit this. Perfect, and then we'll do... Alright, so we're in the top 10 right now. We were in the top 10. Let's just do a supply run.
Does anyone need this? I'll drive.
And then we'll pick up, and that'll like move us to a new area, which is what I was really hoping for now. And then that new area...
Get to the target.
Let's see. It's going to be that way. Perfect. And that new area will hopefully have various missions for us to do over there. And we'll keep trying it out. Alright, so there's actually a lead player over here, which is kind of dangerous from like a success perspective. But that's okay. If we're able to take them out, we can get some good cash. I'll take another balloon, please. Alright, we'll do another scavenger.
Does anyone need this?
Enemy UAV overhead.
Alright, so that player is worried about us. That's fine. If we get involved in the conflict, we'll hopefully win.
Supply box located. Move to secure.
I'll drive. Device spotted.
They're definitely nearby. And they're watching us, I'm sure, because we're noisy in our car. But I'm going to just ignore them for now.
Next objective located.
Oh, shoot. But our next objective is in a location that's going to be problematic, but that's fine. Balloon out. Shoot. Balloon out. Deposit what we have. Cool. Pick up the other balloon. Very good. And assume that they'll ignore us. So how was your friend's call, Alex?
I'll drive.
Good chat, I hope? I was talking a bunch to myself and musing. Fun musing times. go. I like how my character keeps slicing the car every once in a while.
Objectives updated. Move to the next location.
Next location. Alright, so they deposited their money.
I'll drive.
They're not as high up on the ranking anymore. What I think is really interesting about this is it feels like the best way to win still lands in the fighting other players department. Like, I am avoiding going after anyone else and just, you know, using a car. But without conflict with other players, you're just not making as much cash, period.
I'll drive.
Alright, we'll do a recon next.
Does anyone need
Just try not to live in the bounty-free life to see what that's kind of like. I definitely find the mix is to be the most fun. Alright. Going through. Hops.
Objective
Next
updated.
recon.
Secure that position.
I'll drive.
Oh, people shooting at us. That's fun. We'll have friends attacking us soon. So we're in top 10. Not that big of a deal compared to our previous experiences of getting into the top 10. So our next thing to do would be a supply run.
Anyone need this?
Same thing, just get out of here.
Primary objective accomplished.
I'll drive.
Recon intel secured.
Pretty good. We talk almost every day, so it's just a quick catch up. Nice. I'm glad that you had an enjoyable talk. For my vacation stuff that I'll be doing next, I'm looking forward to having a big old conversations with like friends and the like that I just haven't seen for a little while. So that's gonna be super cool. Alright, cash secured. We're in 9th place. We're actually still pretty close to 1st. Can't go that way. So we're gonna be shot at again, but that's fine. The real challenge is just...
Time's running out. Get to the target.
Alright,
I'll drive.
we should be able to get out of here without them blowing us up. Success. We've got our car. We've got the direction we want to go. We're good. One of the things I've been thinking about in relation to making content via like shorts or TikTok stuff was about the idea of like it just takes less time like to make an individual piece, and that's something that personally I always find kind of fun. Ooh, top 10 still. And so I would do some more of like the flow state kind of thing, or I'd be like those other ideas I've been sharing about different video ideas of like, oh yeah, this would be cool if blank or whatever.
Payout limit has increased.
Alright, another recon.
Does anyone need this? I'll drive.
A nice, that protected window. Protected staircase. Oh no. Oh no, come on, I can do this. Hup. Yeah!
Move to
The hardest
next
part.
area. Secure the perimeter.
Oop. Yoink. Another balloon, of course. Alright, we'll just use this balloon real quick, because we got picked up another one. My big question about how this gameplay style is it's like, it's cool. I'm happy that it forces me to fight other people, and so trying this like pacifist style Or I haven't killed anybody. Nobody's, like, people only shot at me once. Though this area is going to definitely have more players. Especially, oh, we're being sniped at from the roof right now. Yeah, see? Like what? And there was nothing I could do about that, right? Like, that point is locked down. So I have to be involved with fighting other players. Though there are other opportunities, like heading that way. But that does look pretty far. Depending if there's another car, which there is, I can make my way out here. Back to the salt mine. Potentially, I could fight these people up here. Which sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, no! Oh, shoot. That was great. Oh, I was so in that view. That was so bad. Oh, I am emotionally disappointed in myself. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Oh. Oh, try to throw a thing at them. Go, go, go! Drive your critical damage car away! Dang it. No! Oh, that's a bummer. That's a tough one. I mean, it makes sense that that wouldn't really work in that regard. Alright, so we're at 433. Our highest has still been way higher. He was having precisely none of that? Yeah, totally. It's like, I definitely think the way to play is the way we've been doing it before, where you're near other combat, because it gives you a chance to build up a lot of cash and then get huge bounces of more cash. There we go. That way. And get huge bounces of more cash from the fact that the game just, you know, has the opportunity for you to pick up random people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's perfect. And then if you have like 400,000, or as we do, 433, and we just kill someone who has like 200 on them, that's a huge jump. But it's a tough one. Yeah, but doing this as a pacifist is interesting. It's very casual. Just like flying around. Picking up a helicopter definitely what makes this a lot easier. And then we have another helicopter there in the way. A helicopter is going to be somewhat problematic. And we're in top 10 again. I think we'll get away just fine. Alright, just make sure that the helicopter is far enough away from this bigger helicopter. There we go. Quietly picking up monies. I was kind of afraid those blades were just going to cut through me. Alright, let's do another recon.
Does anyone need this?
We'll just take the helicopter there. So one thing that happens too is as you do these missions, it will increase how much money each mission pays out. Which makes it like, you know, what's the word? Exponentially more beneficial.
Secure what cash you find.
But this is definitely like not the highest that we've gotten, right? Like we normally, let me through the window. We normally get way more money when we're like running around fighting alongside people as well as like doing missions, and we consistently get more, which is good. Like that's definitely like, oh god, that helicopter went immediately vertical. Anyway, which is good. Like, I like it better when the game plays like that. Oh, I think I just lost that helicopter. Oh, no, the helicopter's fine. Oh, shoot, I fell down now. It's fine, it's fine. I've also found that sometimes just picking up cash, like, from boxes and stuff, gets you more money than doing these, like, quests. So, doing all three things have consistently been the most effective way, in my opinion, to getting money in this game and being successful. Sort times. Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, so, I feel like this conversation, of musing to myself, I just sort of convinced myself to now, like, I'm going to take the break. I'm going to be doing stuff with classes, but I'm definitely going to be interested in trying out more things focused on, like, trying out shorts and stuff again. All right. Jerk helicopter. I think it's really interesting that it does hurt. Oh, I missed that jump. It does hurt, but it hurts so little compared to, like, a player. It's really more just like a frustration than it is an actual danger. Oh, nice, a balloon. Deposit some. So that last pickup that we got, or of our mission, gave us honestly a good chunk of cash, about like 90,000. But each individual, like, I just picked up 30,000 from that box, right? And I didn't have to go find it. Like, I mean, also they're giving us a little extra cash because of the overtime. It's just interesting to see that. All right, you're doing great, helicopter. Just suck it up. You're doing fine. You're doing great. Let's get a little higher. Cool. Sure, we'll do a bounty for fun. We only have 1 minute and 20 seconds, so it's really not going to be that useful anyway. But yeah, trying it pacifist style. I mean, we have 725 cash. So it's definitely a very good way to consistently make money.
Positive ID on the bounty target.
And that bounty is so far away. And, like, if we killed this person, we could get a lot of cash from it. Which is awesome. For, like, playing through these matches. But it's just a long way away. Still feel like the most effective way is to be, like, close enough so that we can do some of these bounties, too. Alright, they're over there somewhere. Bounty got poached. That put us at 8th. Go to Scav. Now this is close enough that we might actually start interacting with players again. Oh, this is there. That's 15 seconds away. That's fine. We'll just be in a helicopter enjoying ourselves. And then we'll be base jumping. And admiring the artwork. Yeah, we're definitely more fun and more interesting when we're doing the one where we're competing against people up close. This is an effective way to actually, like, place, but it's not a way to win, right? To actually get in the top places, you kind of have to get into the combat and then do all these missions alongside of it. And you can even get in first by doing just combat and getting lucky. But by dancing around those higher combat areas, it definitely increases your chance at winning because you can deposit around that area. But then there's definitely a lot of luck that goes into this too, which is kind of frustrating. Because it's not the type of luck that's like, oh, where are the other enemy players? It's more the type of luck of like, oh, this scavenger put me way over there, as opposed to this recon over here and that kind of thing. Alright, So that was fun. Just a nice chill, just a nice relaxing, some play of old-fashioned Call of Duty. I'm gonna do a vacation next week. Alex, I think you're the only person here hanging out at the moment. Maybe Dreams is. Let's see. Who else might be here? Nope. It's more likely. Maybe Dreams is. But right now it's the concurrent viewers 1. So that's an indicator that it's just us. But yeah, so for funsies, I guess I'm talking at you for a second. Based off of my experience and taking this vacation and stuff, like in the classes that I'm going to do, I'm definitely going to change up my content in some way. Looking at the content that I did last year, that is content that was successful, and like if I wanted to chase the success, right? The idea would be to make content that is going to be like interesting from a perspective of shorts or interesting. Here, I can actually grab some of this. Boop. Like this one here, which was like talking about how they removed plunder when to replace it with a different mode. And I talked about like, this is not how you do that, you know, because I've been a community manager. I'm like, this is not a good way to do this. You know, that was, you know, a couple thousand, 1,400. So I'm like, okay, yeah, like that's people, because that got good search. And then some of these Fortnite things did okay, right? Because they were designed after other content that was popular. This one did well, which was about living with Midnight Gospel, and I made the joke of like the third eye on my face and looking funky. That was fun. Talking about Flat Earth did pretty well, 452. But then, you know, it's like a lot of 30s and some okays, and this one is, you know, doing well. I was talking about MSNBC was bad at math, and it was political for a little while. Talking about Bokoblin Mask and stuff, but this is stuff that's also been growing over years and years, as opposed to something that like did well quickly. But then we have, you know, a dry spell of view counts for a while. And eventually, all right, this did okay, because I was copying some other styles that more successful people were doing, and sometimes they do well. Like I blew up all the gas stations, or I win in the storm and things like that. Other copies. Talking about Fortnite and why it was going to not be unsuccessful. You know, Fortnite is fine not dying, right? Like, that went 441 views. People were watching it. Easy video to make. Just me being like, it's going to be fine. Look at the trend graphs. And then we go back to some of these other ones too. And you know, it's like 13, 14, 0. This one's 1300 because it was a short. But once it goes off the short, like cycle, right? It's just stopping. Like, it's still getting some views. It's comparing the last, like, right when it's spiked, which is where I think it gets a lot of complexity there. But this is something that I think I should explore a little bit more, because it fits into the thing that I've been talking about of, like, games and, like, life lesson stuff, and it was successful. So it's like, oh, I should try making a couple more of those and just see how they do. And then, I mean, Spinach Can Send Emails was another, like, shorts thing that I did that worked well, and this one did too, and, like, they're not getting a lot of watch time, but they don't take a lot of time. Soul and Flow State did pretty well, like, but it's, you know, this one I put a lot of effort in, you know, and 46 views, and that's just kind of how it works, where it's like, it's not about how hard you work necessarily, it's about doing the right things for the right people. So yeah, short stuff, and then I feel like I want to kind of like share these ideas and then do these longer form live streams too, because I just think they're fun. Is my kind of opinion on it. Especially if you talk about video games and life stuff, and then you're like, oh, we're going to play a game and then talk about life stuff. That makes a lot of sense. But I don't necessarily know of the, this is cool. Just do that. Try it out. But anyway, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to be doing some exercises, I think, soon. I just made some realizations about my exercises, and because I normally exercise and then eat, but I have some exercises after when I normally eat, so I gotta plan that. But anyway, Alex, thank you for being here and like being around since, you know, the start of Kublai Khan stuff. It's been a lot of fun, and it will, you know, I don't know if I'll keep this channel exactly as it is, but I'll make sure to announce if like certain things shift, because I think that's valuable information for everybody. Like, yeah, like I'm doing something else. It's over here now, and those kind of things. Yeah. Do you have any comments, Alex? I can't really react. I don't know if you're a couple seconds behind me, so I don't really know where you are in the scheme of things. Ah, well, thank you for saying that I'm always entertaining. I'm glad to provide entertainment. But yeah. So I'll do a post on the thing just to make sure people know, and I'll keep reminding people, and I don't know what the next things will look like, but I hope that the classes and things move me into a position of more success, quote unquote, so that I can make some dollar bills, y'all, and also feel more confident in what I'm doing, which will make it better for job applications and things like that, if I'm so inclined. But yeah, thank you for your constant support. It's been good. I thank you. I hope you have a nice week off next week. I off as in from me. No, that's not how that works. Sorry you have to not have my stream. Alright, see you, Alex. Hope you have a good night.